So as soon as I turned 18, why the police try to frame me with a robbery? And I'm gonna be real, I didn't think they was trying to frame me at first. Like, okay, maybe it is a case of mistaken identity and dude thought somebody else was me. But that shit flew out the window because exactly a year later, on the exact day, they tried to frame my brother for a robbery. My brother was just walking down the street one day and the police just pulled up on him out of nowhere. So when they pull up on him, they pull up like guns drawn, like get down type of shit. Like my brother knew he didn't do nothing, so he confused and shit, right? So when he asking him like what he do, they saying that it's a dude in the back seat of the police car saying that he's the guy that robbed him. But you know, when they do those type of things, they never actually show the witness. So my brother never even knew if it was somebody in the back seat saying that or not. So anyways, you feel me? They arrest him for robbery and they take him to the police station. Now my brother was a camp baby. Like ever since we was minors, he was in and out of camp in juvenile hall like a motherfucker. Like that nigga did like 4 or 5 camp programs. Now I don't know if this happened when they was interrogating him or when they was getting ready to book him in. But when they end up telling my brother the day that the robbery happened, he like, what the fuck? I was in jail. Turns out my brother was in jail on the day that they trying to say that this robbery took place. So after he tell them that he was in jail when that shit happened, I guess they end up looking it up in the computer and seeing that he was telling the truth. He was really in jail. So they end up having to let him go. And he said they was mad than a motherfucker about that shit. And the shit is crazy though, right? When my mom talked to the police, she like, so if he wouldn't have been in jail when this happened, y'all would have locked him up? And they was like, yeah, they would have locked him up. But that shit just goes to show like, damn, you don't even really gotta do nothing. All the motherfucker gotta do is accuse you of doing some shit and you going to jail. Shit crazy, cause I know, cause I've been to jail 3 times for some shit that I did not do. One of them I wasn't even around, which is this story right now. So anyways, rewind a year earlier. I'm fresh 18, and this one me and a nigga that stole a half a blunt from me had pieced up on a spot together. So anyways, we get the spot and we got that motherfucker crack. All type of homies and females living up in that motherfucker. Motherfucking runaways coming through. Niggas up to 4 or 5 in the morning bumping the music loud as fuck, shooting dice, niggas fighting. We literally had that spot for 2 months and got evicted. Now the spot, it wasn't in our hood. It was in somebody else's hood that we was cool with though. So pretty much a couple of they homies used to come through and kick it. But the ones that didn't fuck with us like that, they wasn't really feeling that shit. So eventually they came over there deep. And at first everything was cool, you know what I'm saying? They in the living room, you feel me? We hanging out, you know, chopping it up and shit. So I guess after a while, they was like, fuck it, we finna bounce. So bam, one by one, they start walking out the door. But soon as it was time for the last dude to leave out, he closed the door and turned around like, all that serving in the hood finna stop. Basically saying that we can't sell tree over there. Now remind you, these niggas is way older than us. You know, they probably in their late 20s, early 30s around this time. And the nigga that's tripping is Buck. All of us in the house is like 18, 17, even 15. You know what I'm saying? Like we all minors. So as soon as he said that, off the rip, I'm on some shit like, you got me fucked up. Based on, it wasn't like we was overstepping boundaries. Motherfuckers we was dealing with was calling our phone and coming from our hood. So it wasn't like we was taking food out of anybody's mouth. So when I tell him like, man, these motherfuckers call my phone, I ain't finna stop doing nothing. So pretty much we like go back and forth a little bit. And after that, he kind of take his attention off of me and put it on his homeboy who was from his hood at the time. So he say some shit to him like, what you doing over here with these niggas? You supposed to be with the homies. Soon as the homie was finna try to speak, all you hear is smack. He open hand slapped the shit out of bro. But now the little homie, he holding his face like, man, what the fuck? And the older nigga, he just talking shit to him, right? Now I forgot what I said to the nigga, but after he slapped the homie, he asked me like, is this your homie? So I'm like, yeah, that's my homie. He like, so why you didn't do nothing when I just hit him? I'm like, shit, nigga, that's y'all hood business. You feel me? Like, I'm not finna intervene in y'all hood business. Now I forgot what he told me after that, but after he said what he said, I said this. I'm like, you a mark anyway for trying to press some little niggas. Soon as I said that, he fired on me. Boom! Before I knew it, I was on the floor. But soon as I realized what happened, I hopped right back up and tried to rush that nigga. I tried to get off, but at the same time, I'm little as fuck at the time. I'm like 128. I'm damn near skin and bones around this time. So when I get up and try to rush him, he dropped me again. While I'm on the floor, I'm guessing he think the homies finna jump him. He turned his attention to them, like on some what y'all little niggas wanna do type of shit. But it was all bad. So anyways, I'm hot. I'm just looking at the nigga mad and shit. I'm just thinking in my head, like, niggas gonna have to kill me to stop me from doing what I do. So after that, he tell the homie who was from his hood at first, like, let's go. And they end up leaving. So about an hour or two later, dude end up coming back. But now I guess he like sobered up a little bit. Cause when he came in there tripping, he was drunk. He come back in the spot. He like, hey, little nigga, let me holler at you real quick. So when we walk in the room, that's when he like, man, my bad. I was tripping on some drunk shit. I'm just looking at the nigga still like low-key mad. So I guess he he ended up sensing that I was hot. So he like, man, if you feel some type of way, I'll get on my knees right now and let you rush me. I'm like, for sure. As soon as he got on his knees, I ran up on that nigga and gave him everything I had. Boom, boom, boom. And I ain't gonna lie, he ate them motherfuckers, but he was leaking. So now I back away from the nigga and he get up. And I could tell he hot. Like, he probably didn't think I was really gonna do it. So now he kind of like leaking, coming towards me, and I'm just standing against the wall with my hands balled up. And that's when I'm telling him, like, nigga, fuck me up. Nigga, I know you finna fuck me up now. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, fuck me up. That nigga just stood there, looked at me. He said, little nigga, I ain't finna touch you. But I'm gonna keep it real. Out of all your homies, you had the most heart. That's when he reached out to shake my hand, and then he bounced after that. So 2 days after all that bullshit happened, the police shit happened. And the crazy part is we kind of expected the police to be coming because one of the homegirls that was 17 was a runaway and somebody had told her where she was at. So pretty much everybody already knew, like, man, the police probably gonna come here one day. The only thing is when they came for some other shit. So it's early in the morning and out of nowhere, all you hear is banging at the door. Boom, 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 police. But not only is they banging at the door, you know, they screaming niggas' government names from outside. So they like, whoopty whoa, come out with your hands up, come out. Niggas is like, how the fuck do they know we even in here? Because nobody who name is on this apartment actually live in this apartment, and we all minors. Now we in the house panicking because we got a whole bunch of tree up in there, and we got a double barrel pew-pew. So while they banging at the door, we trying to figure out who gonna take the pew-pew case. So after we figure out which one of the homies gonna take the case, we let them in, you feel me, and they come do their shit. Now, like I said, they take us outside, they put us in the back of the police cars, and the whole time I'm thinking they there because of the homegirl on some runaway shit. But really, it's there because they trying to say I'm wanted for a robbery. They trying to say that I robbed the dude for a cell phone. So when they told me, I'm like, what? I'm like, man, y'all got me fucked up. Like, I ain't robbed nobody. What are y'all talking about? Because I literally had no idea what the fuck they was talking about. Like, I could see if I was there and the robbery happened and the dude picked me out. Or I could see if the robbery just happened and he left and seen me in the vicinity of the area and pretty much, like, thought it was me that did it. But these motherfuckers had me arrested for a robbery that I had no knowledge of and was not even around. Now, this is my first time getting arrested as an adult. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I'm not going to juvenile hall this time. I'm going to the county. So anyways, they book a nigga in, right? I get my pink prisoner's receipt and my bail $50,000. Now, remind you, I got some racks, but I just don't have quite enough to get out. So pretty much what I did, I just told my peoples to put the rest of the money up. But based on me telling my mom that I had nothing to do with this shit, she said that they not gonna put up no money until I go to court because I might get OR. So, you know, I sit in the police station for 3 days until I go to court. So I'm thinking like, shit, since I really didn't do this shit, I should get out. But hell nah. I go to court and they raised my bail from $50,000 to $100,000. They put a gang enhancement on me. And they said I was looking at 10 years if I was convicted. Talking about the robbery suspect said a gang name to the dude. And the gang that was supposedly said wasn't even my gang. So I was really like, what the fuck? But after that, I go to county jail. I'm like, shit, since my bail $100,000, ain't nothing happening now. So, you know, I go through the process in the LA County for the first time, right? And I'll never forget. It was a dude from Rolling Hundreds on the bus with me. He was like an older nigga with like a 5150 tattoo on his neck or his face somewhere. And you know, I'm a young nigga, so he kind of like lacing me up on how the county jail is, saying what not to do and what to do. And I remember there was a Mexican chick on the bus too. She like, yeah, just go with your people. Like, soon as you get up in there, go with your people. You gonna be good. So anyways, when we get off the bus, the dude from Rolling Hundreds telling me like, hey, look, don't say nothing to these sheriffs. Whatever they tell you to do, just do them because they will fuck you up. Which I already kind of knew because I done heard stories about county jail and how the sheriffs get down. Now, when you walk into Twin Towers, you walk through this big old like sliding door. And when the doors slide open to let you go in, you walk into this big old room. Where as soon as I walked up in that motherfucker, it was a dude laying on the floor unconscious. And the police was dragging that nigga out by his feet. So when we get up in there, we ask what happened. They like, the police fucked him up. That's when dude from Rolling Hundreds look at me like, yeah, see? Well, anyways, I go through the processing, right? I think the processing is the worst part. These motherfuckers really make you sit on a bench asshole naked, close as fuck to another man, talking about nuts to butt. Like, that shit fouled in a motherfucker. You know, I end up getting processed in and calling my mom. And to my surprise, when I called her, they was on the way to bail me out. So pretty much I only hit the county for like 2 days or some bullshit. Now, when I get released, I end up fighting the case for probably like a year or two. You know, they kept pushing the court date back and shit because the prosecution wasn't really ready for what my people was trying to do. My lawyer was trying to request a live lineup. Because based on the way I got arrested, the dude had picked me out of a picture book lineup. The police showed him different pictures of different people, and the dude just picked my face out. But me knowing that it's not really me, I'm like, it gotta be mistaken identity. So I'm like, let's do a live lineup so he can fully see who the fuck I am. So the whole time, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to request a live lineup. Eventually they give it to me. But when the day came for us to do the lineup, the dude never showed up. So after that, they dropped the case, but they refiled on me immediately. And after they refiled on me, they set a new court date for like the lineup. But when that court date came, the nigga didn't come either. They ended up throwing the case out and they couldn't refile again, so the shit was just over. But I'm like, damn, a nigga really went to jail for some shit he didn't do or wasn't even around, and then they tried to get my brother a year later for the same shit. And then police really had it out for us around that time because they used to harass the shit out of us. It got to the point where we already knew when we left our house, be prepared to get pulled over. And sure enough, they used to blurp our asses every time they seen us, especially when my brother had that candy green Cadillac. But y'all like, follow, and comment for more stories.